Does anyone still believe in paradise?
It's not often that you get to be in the presence of R&B gods. Legendary group 112 hit the charts in 1996 and kept us entertained up until now. They are still going strong with giving us songs like Only You, and one of the love songs that I cannot stop listening to, Cupid, goes down, I think, as one of the best love songs in history. I am so excited that 112 joins me in the JENLEEION circle today. First I'll say, Mike, how you doing? Slim, how you doing?
I'm good, Mario. How are you, sir?
I'm like a kid in a candy shop right now, or at least a kid on Christmas, because I think I told you guys before we started is that I went blind in 1996. And your music was, for a 9-year-old, was very cathartic because I thought I was Cupid, right? The more I could sound like Slim in the backgrounds, it was amazing. So again, thank you guys for your contributions.
Well, thank you for having me.
I appreciate it. So for our audience, I want to go all the way back because it's interesting. Before I started this, I went on Google and I wanted to see what are the number one things that people are searching about 112, right? Is 112 still together? What happened to 112? How did they get started? And I thought, that part about how they got started. Mike, you first had the dream, right? You first had the dream of starting a music group.
It was something, man, that I always. Wait, let's go back, man. I never wanted a 9 to 5, and
From the jump, you knew that.
From the jump, I never wanted a 9 to 5.
You said, "To hell with that." Goodness.
I never, ever wanted to work for anybody. Not that that's a knock on anybody that does a regular 9 to 5. Hey, man, God go with you. I just knew for me that wasn't gonna work because I am an alpha male, and I don't like listening to nobody, man. So, but yeah, I just thought it would be such a waste if we did not utilize the gifts that the Most High gave us, right? So I knew I had something special, you know what I mean? And when I met Ron, and we were in the same middle schools together and stuff. So his musical acumen was just like mine. He understood it. And once we went to high school, when we met Slim, and we met, Lord, I forgot Q. We met Q, and that was the genesis of what 112 was at the time. We were doing talent shows and things of this nature, but that was where 112 made its start. So
so to that point, you knew you didn't want to do a 9 to 5. You knew that you had talent. So at what age did you discover that you had talent that was worth listening to?
Once we got to high school, that's when we met Slim and we met Q, and from that point, man, we realized that we had something really special. Like, we have done talent shows, but that was the genesis of what 112 is now.
You said in middle school, you don't want a 9 to 5. So when did you know you had a talent that was worth listening to?
Well, if you ask my grandmother, my mother, it was like 3. You know what I mean? It was 3 years old because I was just singing. You know what I mean? Like, I got on everybody's nerves, man. Just singing. And back in the day when the preacher would come to the house and stuff, and he had to go in there and sing gospel songs for him and stuff, man. So I was an entertainer, from a very young age, man. And like my name, I'm actually named because my mother had such a love for Michael Jackson. So she wanted a little bit, not knowing that I was going to end up being right up there with Michael Jackson.
Yeah, exactly. And touring with his sister in the future. Absolutely.
So it's crazy.
Yeah, so with you, Slim, obviously you had been singing in the school chorus, you grew up a preacher's kid, et cetera, and in church, but at the point that you were approached by Mike, take me to that point.
Well, yeah, let me do some corrections. They didn't allow me to sing in any type of chorus because my voice was very different. So they told me, although I could hit the notes and stuff, because my voice wasn't traditional, I wasn't allowed to be in chorus. Now, as far as being in church, because my mom's evangelist, I had no choice but to sing in the choir. Now fast forward to high school, how the story goes is that there was a person that was singing, and I was never in chorus or anything like that. I wasn't known for that. I was academically inclined and just known to play the cello and be in the ROTC. I saw the guy, one of the guys singing over there near Mike, and it was just something inside of me just said, look, man, you sound better than that, man. So I walked over. I didn't know Mike, you know what I'm saying? But I was just like, man, look. My sister had basically told me about him, told me that, you know, hey, there's two guys I do know that, you know what I'm saying, they seem like you. So when you say that, that means you're above, you're definitely singing, it's not normal, you know what I'm saying? So I knew of him, so I went over there, I said, hey, this is my shot, let me just go over there. I said, hey man, I can sing better than him. Mike looked at me and said, oh yeah?
That's that competitive edge,
what?
yeah.
Oh yeah, well, and we're gonna find out. Lunchtime, we're gonna find that out. So when lunchtime came, I came over there. So now they're all in a circle. Now you gotta understand, you know, usually you just sit on my nerd side of the table, you know what I mean? I'm a French, you know what I mean? Academically inclined.
Academically inclined is what you call it, yeah.
But this time I get a chance to go over there, and I was like, okay, you know what? Let's take a shot. And at the time, you know, I can't sing.
I take it you're reliving the moment, Mike. He's reliving it. He's reliving
He's
it.
not telling you.
I'm not going
on
over
the
there.
academic side. He had to come over to where the rough is.
I never really went over there. He had the athletes, you know. He had the nutcases over there.
Thuggish on that side.
So I came over there, and now as I definitely can remember it, it's like for 8K here. See, Q wasn't in that guy. Was not in the group. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was like an athlete. Had on his jersey, you know what I'm saying, whatever. And when I was about to start singing, when everybody started realizing like I was about to start singing, he was the first dude in my face.
Just picking
him. What is he doing? They probably can't sing.
Nobody knew he could sing.
But nobody knew I could sing.
Oh wow.
So
see, I love stories like this. Yeah.
Hey man, y'all know Take Six? Mike said.
And Take Six.
Take a shot.
Man, Take Six was our group at this point.
Yeah.
So when he said that, we was like, oh,
he was like, oh, you better go. Like, so he looked at me like, oh yeah, and make sure you choose that song correctly. So I said, I want to sing within me, Lord. So he was like, yes, let's go. So then I just remember, all that I know. See? And you know what I'm saying? So immediately I jump into it, right? Once I hit the note, high note, so everybody immediately gets quiet because this is a shock.
Right.
Spellbound.
Nobody's never knew I could sing.
Wow.
So now I'm into the song. So now it went from quiet to now they're screaming and everybody going crazy.
Oh,
so
wow.
I finished the song. After I finished it, I looked right back into old boy's face and looked at him. Now, not knowing that this man later gonna be in the group.
Now, what? There's some comedic pieces in there because usually there's a scrap on the playground where somebody needs to show who's alpha. But the fact that it was a singing thing, a sing off. I love that.
It was aggressive back then. Yeah. I mean, it's the 90s back then.
Yeah, it was the 90s. It was all about groups back then, man. You know, you had your Silks and you had your. You know, because we did talent shows in Atlanta. It was the Sharon Show. Big shout out to Sharon Showcase.
Oh yeah.
We had the talent show at the Civic Center. Ryan Cameron, he hosts that one. It was just a lot of talent shows around the way, man. So our gigging is like it's different. These kids nowadays, they don't understand the grind that it took. Like we had to go
the hard
to
work.
a different high school and go beat up the best in that high school.
We were chasing people down.
Yeah, we would go to Southwest. We would go to Columbia. We went to Druid Hills. It was just so many Washington, so many of these high schools, and we just went in there and it's like what was the old Western when you stand there, you know, it was a showdown, man. That whole cake around, man.
Oh yeah.
We just come in and we just destroy them, and then and we knew that we had something special. So you know, we keep it going.
And indeed you did. Obviously, it's common knowledge that the group's name 112 comes from the club that you guys performed in front of. That very famous audition that you guys had. Take me to the process of you guys getting that audition. and then we talk about the success after it. How did you guys come to the point where you could audition for Sean Puffy Combs? I know at that point he had definitely heard a demo of you guys, but let's talk about that.
Well, Puff was down in Atlanta because a lot of people don't know, it's a fun fact, he was actually shooting a video for Outkast, which was Southern Playalistic, Cadillac. A lot of people don't know that he actually directed that video. So he was down in Atlanta under Dallas Austin's whole camp. And we were on the same, team with Dallas Austin. Like, but we were trying to be rather. That's great. Exactly. See, the thing was, we were actually was being groomed to be signed to Dallas Austin's label, Rowdy Records.
Wow.
But Dallas was working with Madonna, Boyz II Men, TLC at the time, and he just flat out told us, like, I want to sign you guys, but I don't have the time.
I don't have the time.
It's going to be at least a year before I can get at y'all. Where Puff came in, being him, and said, yo, I'll sign you right now. And at that point, we were like, let's do this. But at the same time, Puff still didn't know what to do with us. He knew that we had talent, but he didn't know what exactly to do with us because his whole label was predicated on hip hop.
Yeah.
So you had Craig, you had Big, so it was around hip hop. So here's this R&B group. I know they had talent, but what am I gonna do with them? So he was kind of, even though he wanted to sign us, he was kind of reluctant in the beginning about it.
It was almost the risk of being signed but shelved, right?
Kind of, sort of, because he wanted everything that Puff did. He wanted it to be larger than life. So he didn't want to sign a group only to shelve him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He wanted us to be his premier group for R&B on Bad Boy. But he still didn't know what to do with it, and he was to the point where he was vacillating between signing us and not signing us, right?
Yeah, and then there was a key person who told him.
It was three actually.
Yes.
It was Faith Evans, it was Kim Porter, and it was Usher. Those three, because Faith was working. At the time, Puff was working with Usher as well on his new album, well, his debut album at that time, right? And Faith was doing a lot of the writing. She wasn't an artist at that time. She was just a songwriter at that time.
Yeah.
And we went in and we went to Doppler Studios here in Atlanta, and we sung everything we could for this man. You know what I mean? Gospel, R&B, opera, it don't matter, bro. Country.
Just say we're eclectic. We gonna give it all to you.
Bro, what do you need to hear?
Sign us. This is a chance of a lifetime. Yeah.
We got it, because that was our mantra, man. Like, let's just sing it all, man. So we can't be denied. Like, okay, we don't like him as R&B artist. Well, you're gonna love us as gospel artist. You don't like us as gospel artist, you're gonna love us as country artist. We sung everything.
To make it so impossible to say no.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was our whole premise, man. So Faith, she listened to us, Usher listened to us, and we left out of the room, and she told us later on that she told Puff, like, listen, if you don't sign these boys right now, that'll be the worst mistake you ever make in your life. They got it. You know what I mean? Like, you got to sign them. And Usher, he pretty much, co-signed that as well. But Puff still wasn't convinced, right? So he was like, you know what? Meet me at 112 later on that night, and we'll see what. Now, we're 16 years old, so we can't get in 112. So, so we're walking up with Puff, and they like, yo, bro, I don't care who y'all are. Y'all ain't getting in here at 16. So Puff was like, well, and let me back up a little bit. Everybody that's been here in Atlanta for more than 20, 25 years, they know that 112 used to be wrapped around the corner on Chester Bridge. Like, you couldn't get into 112, until like maybe 2, 3 in the morning, right?
Wow. Yeah.
Crowd wrapped around the corner. It went from the crowd being wrapped around the corner to making a semicircle around us. It's Puff looking at us, semicircle, and our future is in no pressure.
No pressure at all.
No pressure, but your future is like right here, man. And we sung our hearts out, bro. We sang, like, sing the song, and we sung it. They were throwing out songs to us. Oh, sing Silk, Lose Control. We sing that.
So you guys really worked hard for it, and my goodness, you definitely deserve the spot. And I'm so happy to hear that story, because like I said, people usually hear about the audition at 112, but the road to getting there, and Mike, you actually executed an act of disobedience in order to be there with sneaking out the house that night,
man,
correct?
Listen, man, my whole thing is about disobedience.
I mean, Slim, yeah.
Rage Against the Machine, if you know what I mean? Like, I'm defiant, bro.
Yeah, and Slim, you snuck out, right? Having an evangelist mother, you down at 112.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
The ass whoopings, bro.
He openly said it, because I told him straight up, look, however this goes,
However this goes, I'm gonna lose.
Don't get beat.
I'm gonna eat my ass. Right? And just, but know that. You know,
But it was worth the chance of auditioning for Bad Boy though, right?
Yeah.
Man, this was like a mini TV series, bro. Because I came home, it was like 2 a.m. My mom was sitting in the living room. My dad, who he was there, whatever. Like he had just gotten home or whatever the case would be, and they were just huffing and puffing, bro. And I was like, "This is my life. This is my dream, mother.
I will not do a 9 to 5.
I will not be denied."
I will not do a 9 to
I
5.
stormed upstairs. And she came upstairs with me, kicked the door in, and threw a phone in my head. So,
Hey, that's that old country beat down.
oh, that screams black love if I ain't never heard it, bro.
And then after that, in no time, here you guys are boys from Atlanta, right? Boys from the hood, and in no time, you're in the streets of New York City.
Oh,
wow.
Was it a culture shock?
Yes, it was.
Talk to me about that.
Man, well, you know what? First of all, I think we all collectively never been outside, probably of the state of Georgia.
State of Georgia, bro.
You know, so here we go. First plane rides, all of us. We're out there, and you go out here. It was hot in Atlanta. You get off the plane. It's cold.
It's freezing.
It's freezing in New York.
Yeah,
And from
Titanic
there,
freezing is
you
what I
can
call
just
it.
tell
The
went
biting,
from
yeah.
The hoods, you know what I'm saying? We from Cleveland Avenue, so it's like you're used to the hood. You know what I mean? And then now you're out there and you see all these tall lights and buildings and just taxi cabs blowing crazy, and then just people just moving really, really, really fast. We knew that we were like, we're in a different world. It's time to hunker down. You know what I mean? Put 10 toes down. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like what everybody say. You can make it in New York. You can make it anywhere
because of how tough it is there. So, Mike, you just talked about how much you guys had to sing different genres, and you said, look, you guys you're going to take us some way or another, right?
Yes, sir.
Now we talk about the actual 112 sound and how that became cultivated, right?
Yes.
There was the Bad Boy sound, and you talked about that it was hip hop, and obviously they only did hip hop, but then here comes this hip hop grit with this soft R&B on top of it.
Right.
I want to know how that mixture came about, and who got it first. Because was it difficult? Because I know
it was a juxtaposition, bro. Like, you know, it really was, because on the one hand, like you just so eloquently described, man, like you had the soulful, smooth R&B from 112, because that's what our mentality was. We was R&B singers, like all that hip hop stuff, man. Like, you know, that's cool and whatnot, but you know, we're R&B because in our minds we were
balladeers.
Singers, man, and we felt validated by being able to sing. Like, that's where our credence came from. You know what I mean? So we just we came with this mind frame that we were going to create this sound that nobody else had, which was a focus on background vocals, harmonies, things of that nature, like a Take Six.
And I still live for the backgrounds and all the records. I'm like, you hear what they're doing? Yeah.
And the crazy thing about that is the reason why we made our background sound like instruments is because we couldn't afford instruments. So we had to become the instruments, man.
I've never heard anybody say it like that.
Yeah, but seriously, we had to sing as though we had instruments, man. So, you know, that's why the sound was so different, man. And we wanted, our sound originated from two gospel groups, Commission and Take Six. The harmonies from Take Six and the lead vocals and the way that they sung the melodies came from Commission, man. So
I love Commission.
I
I know exactly what you mean now that you've said that.
Yeah, it's the merger between the two sounds. That's where our whole sound, and big shout outs to Tim and Bob as well, because they helped cultivate that as well. They knew what we were trying to do with our background. They were more Commission. We were more Take Six and they were more Commission.
Yeah, but even with like the breathiness, the great quality of the backgrounds, and then it's sort of balanced with the rich high tenor that you brought, Slim.
Absolutely.
Whose decision was that? How did that come about? Because it was incredible balance. You guys, you know yourselves, right? You know the breathiness versus the.
So it was an amazing, because like as far as the backgrounds are concerned, it was like a combination between us and Tim and Bob. Right. And then Tim and Bob really kind of sharpened what we had already had in our minds. Now, as far as like the lead singing, now that was. I would say that was a.
Because we heard from you quite a bit.
Because you got four lead singers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. I got to give the genius side Puff.
Yep.
Because you know, one of the conversations that he definitely had, which was very aggressive at that time, he was just basically saying, hey, you're not going to be Boyz II Men.
Right.
You're not going to be Jodeci. I created Jodeci.
Right.
You got to find out how to be the best 112 you're going to be. That being said, you got to do something that's going to make yourself different from all the plethora of groups that were out there.
Yep.
So in my situation, I just think that my voice was an X factor because I don't sound like nobody. So in that sense, yeah. So for the singles, yeah. But if you listen to the albums, you definitely heard that you had all four guys definitely holding their own.
Yeah, especially 112 and Room 112. You definitely do.
We're not singing, but yeah, it was the decision to do that. It was honestly, it wasn't a really difficult decision to make because once he broke it down and explained his whole thinking, Puff, I mean, his thought process of why Slim needed to sing a lot of the leads, it just made so much sense.
And you guys carried a great degree of humility, right, in order to be able to.
Absolutely, man, because when you get into a group, you know, we used to equate ourselves as like the Chicago Bulls. Like somebody had to be MJ, somebody had to be Scotty, somebody had to be Tony Kukoc, you know, and things of that nature, man. So we just had to find out what your role was and just do that to the best of your ability. You can sing, bro. As long as you do your part, you're going to get your shinola. You know what I mean? You're going to get your chance to do, you know, what makes you special. And you know, Slim and I, we live under, you know, to this day, we still live underneath that. Slim is the lead singer of 112. That doesn't take away from my singing ability. You know,
right?
It's
Absolutely.
Just, he has the most distinguished, you know, what's the word?
Distinct.
It's distinguished. That's why I was imitating it at 9 years old, right? You know, that's why I was doing that.
The most distinctive voice. He had the most distinctive voice. And Puff looked at us literally and was like, yo, do y'all want to just make music or do y'all want to be the greatest, one of the greatest R&B groups that ever did?
Or stand out. And that you guys are. The intro I called you guys R&B gods. So when did your family, and more specifically you guys, realize that we've really arrived at this thing? Was it after only you hit 2 million? Was it after Cupid went triple platinum? When did you guys say, you know what, we're in this thing?
I'll tell you when, and he knows exactly where I'm going with this. Do you remember? Have you? What's the movie? The Five Heartbeats.
Yes.
Everybody's familiar with Five Heartbeats.
Yes.
There's that one scene where the music, where they're in the bed, they all in their room, everybody's asleep. And they turn the music up, and I got know that my love for you, baby. And they jump up, and everybody's screaming. And I think somebody got slapped, and so it was just a really great, you know, a scene like that, right? So fast forward, 112, we're in the studio working on our new project, and one of the I think
give us a stamp. Were you working on Room 112 or working on Part 3? Where were you guys?
We're working on 112.
112, the first one.
So,
okay,
yeah,
good.
So this is like 96. This is like 96. And we knew that the single was being released to radio, but we didn't know, you know, at the exact time or whatever, right? So we're in the studio working like we always do, and one of the, I think her name is Tiffany. She was at the front desk, right? And she had the radio up, Hot 97. Hot 97. Doom, 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 doom. And you know, 97, if it's hot, they'll stop, you know, put a bomb on it and then spin it back and play it for like 15 minutes. You know what I mean, right? And so
oh God, I missed the 90s. Yeah,
I miss the 90s, bro. But yeah, so she come in with this big New York accent and y'all song is on the radio, B. And we ran into the room where she was at. She turned it up, man, and we was just screaming and just hugging and just going crazy, man, because we were like,
wow,
this is it.
That's it.
We are here. We are finally here, man. And when we heard him drop that bomb and they spun it and they took it back, bro, we was like, man, we out of here.
Yeah, because that song was
buy Rolexes.
That song was so good that I even liked the version of it. The
oh yeah, the original.
The original. I love that.
Yeah.
So, I don't think you guys have been asked this, and I'd like to know. Slim, what is your favorite song that you guys recorded so far?
Favorite song, probably besides Player, Smile.
Wow.
Good choice.
That's a good one. What about you?
You took my answer. I'm gonna say Cupid. I'm gonna say Cupid because Cupid
I
doesn't
was
sound
so
like anything.
hopeful that one of
Yeah.
you guys were going to say that.
Cupid does not sound like any record. I got a fun fact for you. Cupid originated from us not having enough money to go holler at Babyface. Right? So yeah, at the time Babyface had I'll Make Love to You, all the Boys to Men records, all of it. He was Babyface.
The big sound, yeah. that's huge.
Babyface wanted big dollars. Yeah, for one song. So we were like, well, the budget's dead, so we can't do that. And we actually came back to New York after we had the meeting with him, and we said, bro, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make our own Babyface song. So if you listen, the chord progression to Cupid is the same as When Can I See You Again? When can I see you again?
It is.
It's the same.
But you know what about that song, if I can say, one of the things I loved about it, because the vocals drive the song, but the simplicity of the simple bass and the clap.
Five instruments, bro.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and my ears pick out stuff like that, and just the simplicity of it, and it just still is a smash classic.
That's right.
So, of course, I'm sitting here with two of you guys, right? Obviously, we mentioned Q, obviously we mentioned Duran.
Right.
They came and went a few times from the group, so to speak.
Yes.
Is this the 112 we will see for forever, from now and forward, or you guys don't know?
Well, I am wise enough to know that I don't know everything or anything. But what I will say is, if something like that was to happen, they mind frame has to be right, you know, in order because this iteration of 112 is about the brand.
Yes.
Period. If you're not for the brand, you cannot be around us. You can't be. I don't care if you started with us. Doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna finish with us, but you have to be focused on the brand. And anything other than that, man, it just will not work, man. So.
And Slim, with the brand, you're hopeful that one day you guys are able to win an NAACP Image Award. So what's behind that hope?
Well,
All this grit and work that you've done. Talk to me about that.
well, that's definitely one of the awards that, you know, we looked up to. Like, I ain't front. Like, I used to go up to Mike's grandma crib. We used to watch all the awards, right? And we've been either nominated a bunch of times or we've won the awards. So we've won all the awards, preferably all the white awards.
Right.
It would be an extreme honor to win an award that, you know, we all looked up to. You know what I mean? The NAACP Image Award, man, I mean, I think I had a scholarship underneath them, like, when I was in school. Like, I mean, for that one right there, you know, it's just like, we represent the community at its highest and priority, and I mean, we represent it with honor, on and off the stage. So who better than a brand like 112 to win something for? And obviously, we won't win the best new, best new group award.
Right.
But you know, it will be maybe the Icon Award. You know what I mean? We're 25 years in, and you know what I mean. And I think that.
You know what? I think Drew Hill got nominated for like a R&B Hall of Fame award. Like, can we get some of that?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So let me ask you guys this. So with that, an NAACP award would mean a lot to 112, obviously.
It was. Yep.
And with Drew Hill you mentioned Drew Hill being in the Hall of Fame. It's
Nominated.
Nominated.
R&B.
Nominated. It's automatically you say, well, that's definitely deserving of 112.
At least a nomination, please.
Yeah, at least a nomination.
It'd be nice to just be nominated.
So we've got two things. We've got 112 Rebirth and obviously 112 Forever. 112 Rebirth. Define that for me.
Well, like the phoenix, whenever it dies, it rises from the ashes, right? So the things that we've gone through in the last 4 years, we metaphorically said we went through the fire, right? And then so from that fire we came out, brand new, and the phoenix is immortal, right? So once it dies and quote unquote dies and it's rebirth and all this, it's immortal, so it lives forever and ever. So that's hence the 112 forever. So we this brand means so much to Slim and I that nothing else matters. You know, that nothing else matters. Is everything else can be accomplished within that umbrella. You know, if you put the 112 brand first, everything else can happen from there.
And what do you define as moments of ashes for you guys?
Oh man, the controversy, man, with these guys leaving, you know, for the 50th time, and for us, you know, just I see you tried to hold that thing in too, man. Just let it go, bro. There you go. But no, seriously though, we wish nothing but the best for those guys.
Yeah, of course,
they
of course.
decided to, you know, go in a different direction, and God bless them. 112 is Slim and myself, and we are about taking this brand to the next level. That's it. You know what I mean? So anything above that, if you're with that, you are 112. Like your fans, we're fans of you. You know what I mean? And we'll move that thing forward, man. We're gonna keep doing the 112 until we cannot do 112.
And you guys, obviously, you do talk with Grace around the other members having to leave, but you know, Slim, you're quoted as saying that you have you know, a certain mindset when it comes to quitters. I state that to re-ask the question to you in terms of the rebirth and the context of not being able to handle what quitters may look like. How did that change you and make you even more hungry to continue the brand?
Well, I've never lost focus since, you know, and this goes beyond before signing any type of a deal.
So Slim, you're quoted as saying that there's a certain way you feel about quitters. And I state that to re-ask the question to you regarding 112 Rebirth. How did that make you more hungry in furthering you guys' brand?
Well, I'm always hungry. So the hunger never left. Like I always have a side of it, it's just a chip on my shoulder where, you know, it's about we, us, and our, and it's about 112 and nothing else. So I've always had that since talent shows. And you know what I'm saying? So that's probably a reason why you probably see these two guys sitting next to each other.
Yeah.
It's probably a little different when it comes to other people.
Would you guys welcome?
And I would say go through. You know, if you go through certain things, it might mean a little different if you've gone through more things. So you know what I'm saying? So I would just say, you know, I feel blessed that through everything, we're still continuing to be able to provide for our families in an amazing way, travel around the world, and still being at the premier, just at a premier level. When you look at the braces of all-time groups of our situations, look where 112 is positioned, and that's absolutely amazing. And as long as people continue to support us, you know what I'm saying? And to know what we've done for the culture, and with 112 is we, us, and our, and no weak link in no situation.
Absolutely.
Not just the best singers, the best songwriters, best producers, on and off the stage. What have we done in the community? When you look at that whole situation, 50 years from now, when our bodies are gone, the brand and the legacy of 112 will rock. It would be forever.
It would be timeless.
I want.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Would you welcome the others back for a reunion performance?
We like where we are.
Well said.
Well, I just said like, you know, yeah, right. Yes, we like where we are.
We like where we are.
And you know,
We like
and
where we are.
everything is in God's will. So a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, and I'm gonna say it like this too. Sometimes, just because you've seen artists that are amazing at their work, but not that good as a person.
I see. Yeah, absolutely.
And you have to distinguish the situations. This is a business. You know, this is not a hobby. So we're about we, us, and our. And you know what I mean? Whatever their personal situation, when they start saying me, myself, and I, do that with God. But as far as being in a group, all I know is when I look to my left and my right, and I know that this man got my back on and off the stage the same way as I got his, that's the way a group is supposed to be. You see what I'm saying? Like I gotta really trust you. You know what I'm saying? So until I get rid of my trust issues.
What is 112 doing right now?
112 is touring, bro, and this is what we love to do, man. We're touring. We have, as far as I know, like half of the year is already booked up right now. We've been touring with
So
Jagged Edge.
I'm lucky to have you guys today then.
Oh yeah, well, I won't say it was serendipitous. I don't want to say luck, man. 'Cause,
Yeah.
you know, we'll say that God had something.
And I love that you guys still have the connection with Jagged Edge because and I still go back to, you know, the you guys strategically tried to start a beef with Jagged Edge that went south. That went south. But y'all.
If I told y'all that I had an idea for verses back in 2001, y'all wouldn't have believed me. But basically, what verses is what I was trying to do back then. I just didn't let them know what I was trying to do. It wouldn't have been authentic. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't have been authentic.
It wouldn't have been. I called it strategic.
I said it's strategic, bro. But no, honestly, my whole purpose back then was to start a beef with them, quote unquote, a beef with them, so we could go on tour and we can go, you know, like let the crowd figure out, like at the end of the day, you know, who was the better group. Because at that point, we felt like, you know, we put in the most work. We were in the studio, rehearsal studio, 12 hours a day. You know, we were doing the interview coaching. We were, you know, we were singing, like, we were doing show. We just felt like we were the group. And once the world saw us together with these guys performing, number one, you're going to get a great show, but also we're going to solidify 112 as being those dudes, being this generation's Boys to Men, this generation's Jodeci. That was our goal. You know what I mean? So when I did that,
New Edition.
yeah, and New Edition, the trifecta. I'm sorry, the trifecta. So when, because we feel like, you know, that's the trifecta, and we're that tier right up under.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah,
I mean?
absolutely.
And, so that was the mindset. Now, again, I didn't tell Jagged this was the plan. So that's where the whole quote unquote beef came from and stuff, man, because they didn't like what we were saying and stuff.
Right, absolutely. And to bring it back to the principal point, you guys have been, I mean, goodness, you guys were doing things in 2018 and you're back to doing it. Are you guys recording as well right now?
We are recording. Yes. We are recording. We put out an EP back during the pandemic, which was crazy, but we definitely felt like it was time for us to continue the 112 movement and keep it going and keep it fresh, because it's all about being relevant, right?
Absolutely.
It's all about being relevant in the music industry, and you're only as good as your last record.
Well, talking about that relevance, what you guys are doing now, do you think you found a healthy way to merge the classic 90s sound and still sound fresh? Do you think you've achieved that relevancy?
That new EP, that 112 Forever EP, merges the new sound with the heavy 808s and with the melody, the cadences that they have, and then we were still able to. Now it wasn't easy.
Trust me, I know.
Because, you know, he was already, you know, in that zone with a lot of artists that he worked with. For me, that was one of the most difficult things to do. But you know, I followed his lead, and a lot of the producers, Great Scott and Smart Mouth, all these guys, and NR, all these guys who are in the world right now, currently doing that R&B music, a lot of Chris Browns and the Drakes and you know, all of those artists, whatever. So it was, you know, I figured, you know, you give me enough time, I got it. And, you know, Slim was like, yo, bro, just instead of singing it without that vibrato, do this. And, you know, we'll put a little auto-tune here, this, that, and the third, where it's still going to sound like 112. And that's where, you know, 112 ever came
Because
from.
when you're a runner, especially if you're if you know when to run, it's the hardest thing. I
am a gospel singer at heart, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's the hardest thing in the world for you to tell me not to use vibrato and stuff. But we found it. We found a niche.
Yeah.
The sweet way was you look at the accolades.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
It was the top 50
album
of
2020.
Yeah. So that relevancy is definitely still there. Like I said, I've been a fan since I was 9 years old. Now you guys have to indulge me because, like I said, I'm a super fan, and so if you say no to this, I'm gonna keep asking on camera until you say yes, and then we're gonna put it out as a viral moment.
Okay.
No, I want to play song association with you guys. I'll explain. You know what that is?
No, but we're gonna do it.
I'm gonna say. So I'll give you a word, and you'll have 10 seconds, and it cannot be any of your songs. You'll have 10 seconds to sing a song, to sing parts of a lyric that incorporate that word.
Bro, I've been drinking, man. Okay.
That's okay. You'll be fine.
Okay.
You'll be fine. So you guys can. So you'll play against each other.
We got it.
All right. So Nora, I'll need you to keep stopwatch time. Yeah, Slim already thinking, and I ain't even said a word. So 10 seconds. They'll have 10. So I need you. When I'm ready for you, it'll be 10 seconds, right?
You're gonna throw a word at
I'm gonna throw a word at you, and you have 10 seconds to sing lyrics.
A lyric to another song.
To another song that's not yours, that incorporates that
Easy
song.
money. Let's do it.
All right. Slim, we'll start with you. You want to start with you?
No, because yeah, I'm saying it's easy money. I'm speaking for this man.
Oh, okay.
My bad, bro.
Your word is happy.
Happy?
Start.
Don't worry, be happy.
Okay, that was quick. Okay, your word is love.
Love, never knew what I was missing.
4 songs. Okay, Slim, your word is tonight.
Giggity.
Tonight is the night that I'm feeling alright. But I'm saving all my love for you.
Yep.
Okay, your word is mountain.
There are hills and mountains between us. Oh, I can do it. I'm just saying,
You guys, your voices are incredible. Slim, your word is heart.
Heart. Whatever you need, my heart belongs to you. There's nothing I won't do. Whatever you want, my heart belongs to you.
I know it's 10 seconds. We're sorry.
No, it's not. I'm sorry. No, I was with it. Y'all broke into harmony, so I was lost with it. Oh, this is a gift. This is a gift. What about heaven? Your word is heaven.
Heaven. Oh, because I ain't been to church in so long, bro. Heaven only knows. Heaven only knows. Heaven only knows. That's
Bum,
John
bum.
Legend right here.
Yeah.
Heaven only knows.
Yeah, I know that song.
Heaven only knows.
All right, we'll do just a little. We'll just do a little bit more. Slim, your word is go.
Go. Oh man, go.
Oh,
Man, all I hear is
I think you're gonna lose it.
Go.
That works. Okay, the last one. The last one will be your word is soft.
Soft. Now get Slim, please.
Oh man.
Soft. It is the softest place on
Oh,
earth.
right at 9 seconds. It's like you almost lost it.
Yeah, what was that? Escape.
And also,
yeah.
Also, and will you guys do a huge favor for a super fan? Because I always dreamed of being able to do it. Can I sing a little bit of Cupid with you guys?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my
All right,
God.
so here goes. Girl, if I told you I had you, I knew you.
That doesn't mean that I don't care.
You got it.
Come on.
And if I told you I need you, don't you think that I will never be there? Oh baby, I'm so tired of the way you turn my way into deception and lies. Don't misunderstand me when I'm trying to spin I'm only saying what's in my heart. Cupid doesn't lie unless we give it a try. True love won't lie. But you won't know unless we give it a try. The last thing is those ad-libs at the end of the song. We can toss those back and forth.
Hold up.
Okay.
Here we go.
Ain't no doubt about it.
Lord knows I really mean it.
I'd rather die before.
Okay.
Before I lie to you.
Never wanna leave you.
Ain't no without you.
Come on. Never gonna leave.
Never gonna go. No. No, 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 no. Oh. Oh my God.
Yes, man.
Oh my God. I'm sorry.
That was amazing. That was dope.
I'm sorry. So leave everyone with your I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Instagram and all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's really exciting. Oh my
Follow
God.
us on the official 112 on Instagram, 112forever.com for all touring and information, things of that nature. But mostly it's 112, the official 112 on Instagram. You can find us. Just sing. We're performing live. You see the live performances. You see the tour dates. Just us acting crazy, man. Just doing what we do, doing the 112 thing, man. 112 forever. Check us out. 112 forever. Cheers.
There you have it. Mario Bond's finally back in journalism mode. This has been an absolute gift sitting down with the legendary 112. You can catch them on the JENLEEION cover for February and play this interview back again and again because this was fun. I'm Mario Bonds. See you next time, everybody.
Does anyone still believe in paradise? Or is it only me? Do you believe in so follow me. Does anyone still believe in you and I? Or is it only